to come. Like summer nights, rain. I'm gonna dance, tell you my name, and I'm free. You should do this here, top of the game.
Brand new English Broadcasting Day welcomes you to the Gorgeous Wednesday as we welcome you to Shanghai once again for EDG and V5 and Candace on stage, who is going to introduce us to our special EDG Day. I'm here, of course, with Raz, and my name's Hysterics.
Yep, it's EDG Appreciation Day. We have these days in 2018. If you guys were watching the LPL back then, you just got to see it happen to every team. Honestly, every organization had their day. The Suning Day was my favorite.
Yeah.
Because they had their mascot coming out, entertaining the fans, sometimes teasing.
We didn't get it this year, at the very least. We had Suning Day.
We just didn't see the mascot.
Yeah.
We saw it in rehearsals.
Yes, we did.
We didn't see it. Was still in the venue. We just weren't treated to it. So that's just more on the cameraman.
Upsetting. But today we get EDG Day, and a rich organization, a rich history, a team that is heading towards playoffs and looking like a team that is ready to showcase what they've got.
Yeah, they're looking great. I was really surprised with how well JJ and Jinu fit into the team. And you know, they had their bumps, that's fair. Losing to Rogue Warriors, you're always going to have upsets within a season.
Of course.
But the fact that they're looking strong and really primed and prepared for today's match, and of course going up against RNG later on this week, there's a lot of fun stuff happening in the future for them.
Yeah, today feels like a build-up to that as the fans coming out in force here today for EDG. And whenever we're in Shanghai, EDG has such a large presence with their fans.
Now, remember, let me say you didn't hear about it the first time around, so this is the first time I'm introducing it to you. They're just going to be, picking out an EDG fan from the audience and just asking them a bunch of, just a few questions.
Yep.
Their favorite parts of EDG, all of that jazz. And I love this, the audience interactions, them getting to be on stage first and foremost. We have those moments, actually, after every set. The winning team comes out, hand off gift bags to the fans. It's nice. And of course, you can already see the EDG apparel that he's wearing. There's a lot of great apparel from the organizations here in the LPL. That's actually one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Outside of the LPL, my favorite apparel is, I think, 100 Thieves, actually. They do a great job with that as well. It kind of reminds me of a lot of the LPL organizations. So.
Got some really stylish clothes in 100 Thieves.
Yes. Well, I mean, I thought you were going to say LPL teams.
Yeah, no, they do as well.
LPL teams have some great apparel and style, so it's nice to be able to see fans come on for us. I mean, they would have been here no matter what, but at least they have a special day dedicated to the team.
Yeah, they definitely do.
所以我会一直支持他，包括其他的选手。
好的，谢谢。我也看到有位名
A lot of respect for Clearlove. You know, Clearlove, as a player, we haven't seen him this split.
No, we have not.
But my God, when he came in last split, he looked great. I thought that he was actually going to be a mainstay for the season, that is. I thought that, the performance that he had was, he was definitely outplaying a lot of the new players coming into the league. Brought in a lot of the discipline that was missing in the beginning of the split for the team in the spring season. So it's nice to be able to see the fact that he can actually take a step back.
And the fans still there with signs up for him in the arena even after that step back.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what, there's always, rumors whenever there's a discussion about whether he's coming back, what day he's coming back. He has a huge following. Whenever he even just mentions that he's going to be streaming in a week's time, there's so much promotion for it.
Yeah.
Everyone's just bubbling about it. I'm like, seriously, what the heck? In the West, people just say I'm streaming out of the blue, and if you miss it, you miss it.
That's right.
It's kind of crazy.
It's pretty insane, the support around this team. And for EDG in the past, there have been a lot of people coming across, a lot of people going through. As we thank Candace on stage over in Shanghai. A nice small shout out to EDG to kick off the day, or the night rather. But hello and welcome back. My name's Hysterics. This is Raz, and we get to go forward with EDG in the back of our mind with the support that's shown there. The crowd looks packed.
Yeah, and I just hope that they're not set up for failure.
Yeah.
Because Victory 5 is looking great coming into this set. They have a lot of amazing picks, the players themselves, while they don't have the name brand to back them up and to have the fan power. This is when, you can steal some fans from the crowd. That's because they're looking great coming into today's game.
V5's been climbing up the standings. They've started to make a name for themselves here in this split, which I didn't expect them to do. But already sitting at 4 and 3, you can see how close they are towards that top 8.
1 point. Literally 1 point out of playoffs before, being able to bump out Suning. That's how good Victory 5 are looking right now. Last time we saw them, You know, Victory 5 were able to pick up a big win versus Rogue Warriors. And what we saw was, you know, the Zed picks.
Yeah.
Windy and Mole once again playing that style. So it's netting them great wins, and they're that close to being able to find themselves into playoffs.
Now, another team you should be looking at here are teams like LNG, of course, OMG, who will be coming up here today. That gap to be bridged by OMG. They need to start getting wins on the board, and that'll be looking towards the second series today.
Last few weeks until playoffs time, so you're right. I mean, the fact that you look at that standings and you're saying, well, LNG and EDG cannot afford to be, you know, losing what would seem like free wins, right? If you're looking at OMG in particular and saying, OMG, they're looking very bad. You know, they're looking like a team that once again will not be able to make a playoffs. If LNG get upset like OMG did to a few teams last split,
Then what do we think about them?
well, not even just think about. They just will have a problem with the number game.
Yeah.
Right? Numbers will not be in their favor. Very likely being bumped out by Victory 5 who's playing out today. So those are the conversations you need to happen. It reminded me of 2018 spring where they had a huge burst within that venue. And then they started losing games.
But of course, we run through the first series with a chain effect. EDG V5, but coming up on Saturday, their second series against RNG, our match of the week. And this has everlasting effect on our memories.
Hell yeah. EDG and RNG was the finals that we had in spring 2018. Like, these two organizations have faced off against each other in finals time and again. And if you already saw the matchup that we're all looking forward to, you know, iBoy versus Uzi is definitely one. You look towards the top lane, the new guns, and, you know, Long Xing and Jinu. Great ones that we're able to see, hopefully, at the end of the week.
Yeah, I was just pointing out mid under the murmur of my breath because I think Scout Xiaohu, ooh, that's going to be great as well. There's a lot to look forward to with that matchup. But first, EDG have to kick off today because before they get into that match of the week, they have to deal with V5. And even though EDG look like they're good, V5 are creating these upsets in the LPL.
Yeah, they're looking great. And I think a lot of that comes back to the matchup that you were talking about with the match of the week being Xiaohu and Scout. Is still going to be the mid lane matchups here because we don't know who's going to be coming up. All I know is that, you know, Windy had a fantastic mid lane going up against Rogue Warriors. Mole looked great, but if we're looking at EDG, Scout just looks stellar.
Yeah.
He is the all-star of this team's early game, and you can already see based off the champion diversity, his mage that he was able to play through the Azir, Vladimir, was fabulous in late game team fights. And then the early game portions where, you know, you always have JJ or, you know, talk about last split, Clearlove, whoever comes in the jungle ultimately supports what his early game style looks like. He's an incredible, consistent force for this squad.
It's that versatility that's always impressed me. Scout at the moment in the LPL has the widest champion pool alongside Ning with 13 champions played in total, and it's only week 7.
Yeah, I mean, he's played a lot of... that's fair. That's a fair. It's a great tool for Coach Hart in drafts, 100%, so they can go on red side if they'd want to and just be able to pick up anything on the 5 pick. What I love to see in the fact that he's able to, of course, pick so many champions, go through so much in terms of the 2v2s that are thrown his way, and still be as consistent as he is. Like, you can nail down the last 3 series, and he's doing well in his lane.
Yep.
Like, that's really fun to be able to see, especially since that kind of weight on his shoulders of the last few seasons where he was kind of nailed down as a coin flip player. That's no longer the case, and it's fun to be able to see Scout doing his thing here. He's going to have a big challenge. I think there's unpredictability with Mole and Windy.
That's right. Who's going into the mid lane? Because at the moment, the solo laners of V5 are my biggest highlight. I think the versatility they can play around makes this team so unique in the LPL.
So let's just go through some of these clips because I just loved how Mole played this Kennen out. I thought that his playmaking potential really kept him in the game, and while you could say, and the other coin of this, the other side of the pillow, that Rogue Warriors just hard trolled on that play.
Yeah, okay.
100% Mole found these opportunities when he was able to get consistent picks when we had questions in that first game. But it was the third game that you finally saw the adaptation in this team. And what, for me, I'm afraid for EDG about, because we saw game 1 and game 2 in that one series. I was like, oh, I don't think Victory 5 takes game 3, right? You know, questions on draft and if they can execute upon that. But they stuck with Hanyi's draft, Coach Hanyi. They said that actually it's not the issue of the draft, it's how we're playing it out.
Yep.
And it was in game 3 that they just absolutely throttled Rogue Warriors solo laners. And so I was like, wow, the fact that they had that kind of presence of mind to say, no, we just need to play better, no band-aids here, and then just stuck with the landing. Great stuff here from Victory 5.
It's amazing that Windy can come in and over Alias in that matter and actually make that impact.
I haven't seen him in some time, too.
That's right. But Mole, I mean, the expectations were there when Mole played one game on EDG's roster in the top lane last split. But he, since coming into V5, has made his name and shows that he is the core identity of this team alongside.
Yeah, if you blinked and missed it, you wouldn't even have known that he was like had anything to do with EDG.
Right.
Because for the most part, he started his career off of BLG. Like, he was that mid laner alongside Chieftain. And he was a great boost to that team's early game. Because when that team did not have direction with, like, you know, Athena, like, ultimately being a control mage late game presence and force, that team desperately needed the early game. He was the early game.
Yeah.
And so you can definitely see that being transitioned onto this team. And now we got something beautiful going with Victory 5.
It started with IG. It started with the upset against IG. They've then paced their way through and taken the upset against Rogue Warriors too. So this team at the moment...
I wouldn't even call that an upset.
Well, it's gotten to the point where V5 are pitted as a team heading towards playoffs. They've got 4 weeks to continue proving.
That's true. Because remember, before, even though I said I wouldn't call it an upset, before that, I literally predicted Rogue Warriors to win. I think we all did.
I think we all did.
We had a lot of naysayers. I am the biggest naysayer because
Stand with
before
me.
the split even began, I said this was going to be a 16th place team.
I said 15th.
They lost their 2 core players in Korn and Jinnu. The team's real identity was, for me, at risk, bringing in a lot of developmental talent. But they're in an incredibly comfortable environment because they're able to play whatever they want. The compositions make sense. They essentially are as aggressive as you saw them in developmental leagues, which is like really unheard of with how many times players are put in. Great example is Jackie Love. Comes in, first few months, you saw the nervousness in a lot of the times he played up against the best AD carry talent. Talking about Uzi, right? And SMLZ, I'd throw him in as well. But then it took about a year's, I'd say 5 months time before he came in and he looked incredibly confident no matter what matchup he went in. It really just was the champion matchup that, you know, decided it rather than him being up against a strong team or anything. So you didn't see those mind-blanking moments from him anymore.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I kind of expected that with a lot of developmental players, and I'm just seeing Victory 5 playing well. I was like, okay, well, you know what? This is where they can make their name off.
And also, I want to transition to the bottom lane while we're still on V5 and talk about Y4 and Max a little bit because constantly we've seen them play maybe towards the weaker side of the map. And that hasn't really affected Y4 with his big champion pool too. Remember, things like the Pyke, Sona, Orianna. He's playing his own creative style too in this team.
I mean, we're just going to be expecting more of the Ashe. The Ashe is what I'm expecting to see out of the bottom side of the map. They should be taking a pounding in from iBoy and Mako. Like, that's how it is if EDG is going to be playing towards their bot side of the map. And you're right, Victory 5 are going to be playing towards their solo laners.
Yep.
I'm more excited for Max as a player. Max is actually, I need to actually look at the numbers, but he's received so many MVPs as a support player that I feel like he is leading MVP for supports. He's doing such a great job off of the Lux and Yuumi that he should just not get either. Deny that, and I think that you, as EDG, should do quite well on the bottom side of the map.
Started dominating through. And for EDG, look, their bottom side at the moment, iBoy, as you mentioned, still playing some of his best League of Legends. And that's why for this EDG squad, it's going to be a great test for V5. But even more so, a test to our faith. If EDG can't come away with a win here, then we start questioning, well, what is the road ahead?
So I just checked the stats.
Oh, go for it.
Yep, he's definitely Max is leading the MVP votes for supports.
Okay.
Just based off of how the MVP standing is. It says 4, but the last time we saw him play, he was his 5th one.
Yep.
So he's getting up there. In fact, he's tied with Mole on MVPs. So he's tied with, you know, what you'd see as the standout player for Victory 5.
Yeah.
Just because, like, Max is a pretty damn good playmaker for his team. Even if you look at the Yuumi pick and say that is a great Enchanter support, his final chapters in teamfights have been so damn, you know, dominating in a lot of those instances that I would love to see how he matches up versus Mako. That's a real silent killer there.
Oh, yeah, it really is. And sharing some of the champion pool, I feel, here with Mako. But looking more at the Tahm Kench, you pointed out the Ashe before, so I'm curious to see which way this bottom lane swings.
Yeah, I mean, the sad thing about the meta is that honestly, everyone shares the same champion pool.
Yeah, that is
If
true.
you don't play Lux and Yuumi, what the hell's actually
We have
going on?
narrowed down quite a bit, haven't we?
Well, I mean, last split, it was also just Galvio.
Okay,
So
that's
supports just
very
are
fair.
playing really
We have
very
two now.
few things.
Yeah.
So that's just how life is, you know. At least we
And-
got Tahm Kench in there as well,
and we've-
being a first pick priority.
So we've also seen things like Tahm Kench be first pick priority here in Pick and Ban too. So,
I just said that.
oh well, I was getting whispered something way about Clearlove's birthday and not his birthday, it's someone else's birthday. So I'm like,
Well,
whose birthday is
Who's whispering literally nothingness in your ears?
it?
The nothingness that matters.
Not even sweet, just nothingness.
It's
in my
literally
ear.
just like, it's his birthday. Actually, it's not. Carry on.
No, carry on. Hold on. We'll get the real birthday to you in a moment.
But yeah, you know what? EDG right now, it better be their birthday, because I feel like they're getting better and better as a team when being able to bring in the talent that they did. Jinwoo I was a little bit questionable about because, as I said in the past, I was pretty damn high, as many were, on Ray as a player.
Yeah.
Ray came in as an all-LPL top laner, and you know, good luck to him. I know he'll come back when
His
he comes
spring
healthy.
split was fantastic.
That was health issues, really, that
Yeah.
really gave them the decision in which they brought in Jinwoo, but Jinwoo fit in those shoes real well. Same goes for JJ. And
Yep.
I think that the honeymoon period is technically over, as we're seeing some of the aggressive plays JJ is going for is starting to get punished. But it didn't show last series.
No.
When EDG went up against LNG, that was just, as Spawn would put it, a great shellac.
A shellac, great words.
It was just, they were stomped from level 1 onwards. It was a very crisp and clean EDG, and that's the kind of EDG everyone wants to see.
They want to see coming into V5 especially because V5 have been surprising their teams. The way this team works is the explosive nature of the solo laners impounds the mid to late game, and suddenly you don't know what to do.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you come into EDG's, Victory 5's champion select, that's what you're excited for, man.
Yeah.
Like, there are a few teams in this league that you're genuinely excited for the pick and ban process. When you're looking at it and you're like, is it going to be Azir versus Corki? Is it going to be Lux versus Yuumi? But they actually just throw the book out there. You know, all drafting 101s.
I mean, FPX is a good example of that, especially with Doombee's massive
Exactly.
champion pool.
And they're the ones that are, you know, undefeated right now.
Yep.
Incredibly successful because of the strategy, and on top of that, they just have damn good players. But Victory 5, the fact that they're comfortable in being able to do this when the players don't have strong name brands and there's a lot of uncertainty of how they're able to, you know, stick the landing if they do come into the league, and they did just that. So hopefully they can keep the momentum growing, because, you know, weeks on weeks until playoffs come by, I would never have imagined myself to utter the words that they're a team that look bound to make playoffs.
I mean, we literally saw a Zed the other day from V5. That's as good as it's going to get.
They played really well along that too.
Yeah.
A lot of the issues you would have about Zed overgrouping, that didn't happen. He was on side lanes when he was needed to, and when they were collapsing on inner mid lane turret, he was collapsing along with them. These are just plays that you would look at and say, oh, this is not what you know, rookies would do on their first time round.
Yeah.
But they're doing that immediately, and so, you know, you get to enjoy it.
You get to enjoy the possibility that V5 can put up a real serious fight here in this series. And the other thing I'll be looking towards is, you pointed out JJ before and how he's getting punished for some of his mistakes. Well, for Ben 4, he's had these back and forth games, but I think Ben 4 as a jungler is honing on this team and becoming more of a threat.
I feel bad for junglers that have that kind of, you know, style. Forced by the team, to be fair, that's like straight facilitator.
Yeah.
You live and die by your lanes. If your lanes are doing well, then you look pretty damn good. If your lanes are doing poorly, well, good luck, you know? You're the one that looks awkward when you're the Sejuani that can't get things going, and then people blame you, right?
Yeah.
Especially when there's, you know, clans, double clans, Tahm Kenches. It never feels good. That's why largely people moved away from the Sejuani. It's just way too hard to get it going later on in the game. Let us not watch Scout playing with his hair.
Every
because
time.
his hair is always bad.
He's got so much of
This one is actually the better days that he's had, but ordinarily his hair is like spiking up over
Yep.
his headset. It's like he just woke up. This time round,
Oh, where are we going? Him and 369 Raz. 369 has bad headache quite a lot, actually. Next time you watch Top Esports, just take a gander.
I'll check it out. You know, someone who used to be a constant perpetrator of that was Guoguo. Guoguo, when he was on Snake, now known as LNG. We'll be seeing him later tonight.
Later today, yep.
We'll get a real test if that's been continuing on. but every time you would see him on stage, it's like he just woke up, and you're like, well, that is not just a cow lick.
Best way to play
That
League
is
of
just
Legends.
a cow montage.
Haven't you ever, you know, half an hour after waking up, go straight to your computer, play a game of League of Legends? That's your best time.
That's not your best time.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely not.
Especially if
That's when you get your first loss.
That's when you play Udyr jungle and just win.
Well, you play really low mechanical champion.
No, Udyr is a high mechanical, high skill cap.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yep.
easy to be good at Udyr, but hard to be a master.
I don't want to hear it. There's a good reason for that.
Yeah.
Sometimes bad champions are very hard to make work, you know?
But to be fair, if you have the skin on Udyr, the ultimate skin, Spirit Guard Udyr, you're, you know, so much easier to play the champion. You actually become better at it. With that
I don't know
skin.
where you're going with this discussion. I don't
No,
know
that's
if
it. That was
I'm
the
not
end.
comfortable with this time. this skin, I start getting into the mode, you know?
I am the bear. I'm literally
Very
the
close.
bear.
You're gonna start talking about how, you know, dressing up like Udyr,
Yeah.
getting closer to that.
I've always wanted to cosplay. Cast a cosplay, just
Closer and closer you're becoming
I-
a furry, and
I-
I'm not a happy. I'm not glad with what's happening in front of me.
Hey,
I'm
I'd dress
sorry.
up as Volibear. If I timed it well, I could have done
Please
that
stop.
yesterday.
Please, I don't want this.
I was impressed yesterday by Lu Mao's Volibear. I don't know about you, but
It was good. You know, he always has really, really risky builds. When he's on his fiddlesticks, you know, the aftershock is the go-to just so you don't die instantly on your
That's it.
engages later on in mid-game. He just goes area, and you're like, well, let's see where this goes.
Yep.
If you're winning, you do a lot, actually. You put in a lot of damage, you're incredibly oppressive. If you're losing, my god, you get bursted very quickly.
Yeah.
And the Predator Volibear is no different.
Yeah, it went very fast at the end, so it was good to see. Good to see the adaptation, because originally Gen G Life in game number 1 against Griffin.
Yeah,
Picked
I
that
mean,
up.
it's also just getting banned in general, right? Like, that's the thing that is
Yeah.
really surprising to see based off of post-Rift Rivals scrims and practice. People starting to value Volibear quite a bit, so you watch LCK and it is receiving a lot of bans. Initially, you were thinking it's top lane because in solo queue, high elo, you're seeing a lot of top lane Volibears and Tahm Kench.
Yep.
But then, you know, suddenly you're seeing mostly Kalista Volibear, because at least with Kalista, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
With Sivir Volibear, you're like, well, it's all on me now.
It's Knock Up City. You throw him in, he flips you back, and you don't go.
Yeah, that's why I like Kalista Volibear. Volibear with literally anyone else is really, it's very difficult to get going.
Yeah.
Relying on good vision control, so you can always get, you know, the bush rushes alongside and good coordination on the initial gank. If you don't have that, then you're just the most useless bear on the planet.
I used to run it with Moby Boots as my support. So
I don't want to hear
That's
that.
a very different discussion. Don't trust me. Before we get into game, though, you know, my thought process was looking towards someone like Mako and his champion pool at the moment. Because remember, he's been an innovator in the past. He's someone who I could see the Volibear on in these unique picks.
I agree, because in the LPL alone, I mean, there are a few players outside of the LPL. I'll say Mickey X is a great example, that really started to enjoy the Gragas support.
Yeah.
The Gragas, your eyes lit up very. You know,
I like
sometimes
that.
it goes like that, right? When you like Gragas support is actually just so fun to watch in the hands of like fantastic Gragas players. You saw Ming and Mako were able to really start to just dominate with that and make Gragas become a priority pick. I think this was like last year, late last year, summer split of 2018. That it was like, okay, well, this is just the reality that we're in. Now Volibear, I think it's not going to be a flex by any means. I don't think we're going to be seeing anyone that goes flexing a top lane or jungle with the same issues that it has.
Oh, yeah.
But it still becomes a great support pick, especially with great Kalista players. So another great example, we haven't seen it too much with Top Esports, but I think Top Esports would be a great team with it alongside it. So like we've been seeing Loken's Kalista be very successful, and I'm expecting the same with iBoy's Kalista.
But Ben's never going to hop off Flux. He's played 8 games in comparison to like the Yumi's.
If teams just keep giving you Lux and Yumi,
you will pick it up.
you will pick it up.
That's very fair. However, ladies and gentlemen, I've just had word in my ears. There has been an issue on stage with lineups. That is getting sorted. We are going to
With
go
lineups?
to a 20-minute break, I've been told. Yeah, I got told lineups. So, Raz, we're going to go to a break.
Who's there that shouldn't be? Is the coach trying to sneak in? It's like, hope they just don't think that I'm an old man.
We're going to have a break. We're going to return as soon as possible. We apologize for the inconvenience to come up for our first game of EDG in V5. Don't go anywhere.
这皮太好了吧？不打他吗？
直接反打猫咪的大招，
这一波直接秒的，伤害太高了。
但是
加拿大
反身
旁边
拉过来，
泥
敢说
王
有秒
表，
哦，
加 效果太好了，泡芙也被秒掉，反正跳下来也是没用的，只能自己等死了。
风有大问题啊！
而且杰克拉姆这波也很危险，交闪现，但凯南这个位置很僵硬，对到3个人，对到4个人，全部要死啊！
但是这边有个秒
站一个位置。 就在这里，这个位置，对方没发现 Rookie 的位置啊！泡芙又是泡芙，哦呦，还好就在旁边，这边藏了3个人，这边九总扎一下，凯南开始打的效果很一般 ，S 被秒了 ，Q 补也被切掉，这一波就是 Rookie 这个配合泥王配合宝蓝，就是他这个中野辅 ，S 的中野辅这3个英雄决定了他们这把就有翻盘点，
这波还要继续的追击，一定是不能放走。
这一波肯定要包的，Rookie在旁边继续骚扰，只要逼着的技能，惹上来了，一技能拉一下，来自己可能要死了，一技能伤害很高，宝蓝也往下
位置拉开了，
没人管女血吗？九总也上来 ，Rookie 也上来，啊，总算是 Rookie 带走了女血 ，Rookie 这把真的是
，Rookie 这把看得出来很想赢
啊，
但是经济上面大家一目了然，
人头太多了，这边
人头太多了，哎，飞机，哦呦，飞机就过来要吃人啊，飞机。
哎呦，这么不讲道理啊！
哎呦，双 W 拉开距离，
哎，这在干嘛？王牌飞行员了，
王牌飞行员，
这还要死一个，完了！
这些人在，
这在干嘛呀？这真的是，
所有人开始秀起来了，
很有自信啊！现在，
哎，这一波艾希
也去遭遇，
你刚才搞我兄弟，
这一波的话，
哎呦，
秒射一些，还真不好说，吸起来了，吸起来了，
而且他
有护盾，有护盾。 哎呦，这里的话没有抬档，华健这里开启一个金身，但要等死了。
悔恨会磨平我们灵魂中的棱角。
势在必得，现在看一下皇子，
刚才回家去防守了，现在 TP 还没有赚好，利桑卓 TP 就差2秒钟，但是那个2秒钟，刚才那个闪现怎么回事？皇子这个时候想要进来，搭不上去，把它填满了以后，吞到肚里了。比赛肚里总没有办法下来抢楼了吧？
而且现在他下来是带着春哥的尸体下来的，
这个决定不卖了，跳上去硬锤，不卖了，不卖了。猪妹再顶上去 ，EZ 只能疯狂输出猪妹，贾克斯一个人在后面扛着所有人的输出，再也顶不住了。
进化的代价是必要的死亡。
现在要撤退，得留人卖命断后。利桑卓一个冰雕雕起来，想要断后。然而 B5 在解决了利桑卓之后，继续往前挺进。这一已经没有地方走了，再被
要自杀了吗？
要夸抓，要夸抓，来让一下夸抓，顶住。没有让 S。
好兄弟，好兄弟，
好兄弟。
是时候表演真正的技术了。
老干爹要直指大龙，这一把就不需要犹豫太久了。21分钟的时间点，算是 on time 的 rush 大龙。
看好了。
然后这3个人有没有办法阻止？伊泽瑞尔现在远处拉了一个大招，打到的是 Yuki， 但是 Yuki 还可以持续的给队伍一个护盾，而遗憾的是在龙坑上面在找机会有没有进入去抢，这一手就看遗憾的了。正面克斯也还在积极的贡献输出，大龙也还在输出，但是老干爹想要先歼灭掉正面的人员，
能力全开。
正面的克斯是已经倒下了，但大龙的血量也降得比较危机。Crystal 疯狂的 poke， 这时候找到一个机会把 Kramer 给偷掉，正面找到了一个猪妹的一个位置，猪妹下来，大龙血量1000多点，这时候大龙的话会被 OH 给抢掉啊 ！Oh my god！
不知道队友们都有多强。过一阵儿，我要邀请他们和我一起训练。
我是末日。我有想法，一个 W，
走位很好啊，这边刘青松。 西维尔在上面也不敢下来，
这里要打4v4了吗？
海南绕后，但这里有视野，
对面这个位置被发现，
留了，
鱼给大招。
可以闪现大招进场，
来个加速，这边要先杀一个，让剑魔先复活。下一个有机会，林伟翔已经被秒了。剑魔的话现在有复活的能力，刘星东也被砍掉。这边毫无疑问，老关键的爆发能力更强，他们打得更果断一些。小天也跑不掉了，剑魔红这个大灭红大灭下来根本不怕你啊！
死亡是一种仁慈。
第一波的 Gaunt 马上要开起来 ，Hope 身上是有盾的，他们的集火目标会是谁？先打 Mako， 但这边有一个风墙，风墙把前面 Misty 的第一波输出给打掉了。而旁边的话交出闪现之后，悲伤是隔墙带着帮逃跑，但杰杰跟了上来，但身上吃了一个虚弱。杰杰，哎呀，临死之前还是拿掉了这边的一血，而且死之后还有一定的作战能力。但旁边的话 ，Misty 已经上手拿了双 buff 之后拿到了2个人头，但 Gino 已经起逼下来，而且死之前又再次一枪取掉了 Hope 的性命。
败到我的设计之下。
莫甘娜的护盾没有给出来，先交治疗，因为他想等着护盾保护自己的霞。霞这边一个倒钩，我直接把他的秒了。莫甘娜这边盾再给自己，这波维克多的杀打得不错。莫甘娜终于是被击杀，但霞这边漫天飞雨放出来之后，回着一个倒钩拉满了，交闪现，但闪的稍微有点晚。而且这波赛恩因为不在正面，所以 OMG 这边没有人能顶住前排，帮助霞制造输出空间。维克多这波在追击当中拿到一个3杀。
喂不饱野兽的话，你就是食物。
有龙吗？哎，这里
过来，中间的团战，要被秒了吧？
哎呦，黄盖这里有个视野啊！哎，
你跑进场，
大的效果还可以，但是刘青松这里是死掉。
派克要斩起来了呀！后续的伤害没有人再给到了。
今天是狩猎的好日子。
有闪现。 派克这边要斩了，大招下来，哎呀，没有刷新。
但是这把普攻还是要开金身等死了。
哎，我觉得又拉过来一个加里啊，这边林伟翔收割了。
爬起来，站稳了，狠狠的打。
林伟翔收割了，林伟翔输出环境太完美了，哎，有没有多杀？4杀。
世界一直在变化，结果由我们来决定。
总有人上人，那便是我。我赐予这片土地被我征服的荣幸。你炫耀自己能力的样子，像极了一只猴刚刚找到了棍子。 感觉到风里的寒意，那就是我。他们根本看不到我来了，好丢人呢。让他们排成一列，我来让他们下跪。
Hello everyone and welcome back to Face to Face. It's been a long time since we last met, but now we're finally back on track in the DMO gaming house and we have their jungler right next to us.
大家好，我是 DMO 的打野小鹏。
小鹏，我想问你的第一个问题是，你们是怎么样有办法在 LDO 打到这个14连胜的一个称霸的？
当时我们每个人选手的个人操作和自信都比较强嘛，然后当时我们每个人的默契、团队配合都很相信队友，然后当时我们就一直这样子，发现好像对面好像打不过我们，我们就每个人用个人实力去跟人秀操作。当时我们就有一个这种说法，就是我们选一套很秀的阵容，谁死谁背锅，谁挨骂，我们就是这样一路赢过来的。
确实很乐观的一个打法。那你们来到 LPL 之后，你觉得有很大的一个转变吗？然后你们同时也是全 LPL 最年轻的一支队伍，你们会觉得这个反差很大吗？跟在 LDL 比起来？
到了 LPL 我们发现对面还是好强的，然后当时我们就只靠一腔热血，然后跟人家去拼命吧，可能就，然后发现这种效果还不错，然后我们就一直延续着这样的打法，然后其实尝试打得比较进攻激进的打法，有的时候可能会被打得对面比较懵，没见过这种太激进的打法吧。
那你可以稍微描述一下你所谓的这个激进的打法，大概是包含哪一些层面嘛？就是你自己觉得你们的这个 DMO 的风格，你会怎么描述？
如果刚开始在春季赛的时候，我们觉得大概率的阵容是，假如说我野区英雄取得了优势，然后我需要我的队友拥有推荐权，然后我就需要你别让他吃野怪，一个野都不准吃的那一种，就全队过来保我去抢对面的野怪，然后对面打野玩不了那种感觉吗？我们这样的打法比较多。
那讲到其实这种侵略的风格，好像主轴其实是你去打进攻的嘛。那你可以讲一下你自己认为你在这个团队当中的一个定位吗？
其实当时团队的说的法，我觉得我在团队里更多是承担一个carry点，然后他们都把很多的资源让给了我嘛。然后当时我觉得我的状态也挺好的，然后选这些英雄都是一些carry型的英雄。假如说让我一旦取得了优势，然后我的队友会特别的舒服，然后我们就靠着这种方法一直去打。
小鹏还想问一下你对豹女这支角色的理解，因为非常特别的事情是你还会在 LPL 上面玩就是 AD 型的一个豹女，你可以跟我们解释一下她的出装跟思路吗？
因为我觉得豹女这个英雄主要是熟练度高，假如说你熟练度高的话，其实你出 AD、AP 都很好。但是我觉得如果是出 AP 英雄的话，大概率就在于你的刷野优势吧。如果是出 AD 的话，你可能就更偏向于你的打肉的能力，因为 AD 的带的征服者，然后3项和战士刀和鬼锁刀，它的那个瞬间爆发都是特别高的。然后我觉得出 AD 的情况下也会特别的好。发现我自从研究出了出 AD 的这个套路之后，他们就不让我玩豹女了，所以我也没有在比赛上尝试过到底好不好用。
你说他们不让你玩是指队友吗？还是指你对手？
对手都把给我搬了，让我玩一把吧。
那除了豹女之外，我们有小道消息说你其实有玩一些就是在单排很出名的一些角色，但是在 LPL 赛场上面还没有拿出来过，你可以跟我们分享一下吗？
其实我对酒桶这个英雄我做的特别有心得，因为我玩酒桶是特别玩得很好的一个英雄，但是之前我的队友都不让我玩，他们说这种不适合啊，不想让我玩这种前期弱势打野，因为我们之前的风格是那种需要前期进攻型的打野比较多的嘛。但是我这个是一手酒桶一直掏不出来，他们不让我玩，我很难受。
那你目前觉得 LPL 谁酒桶玩的最好？
我觉得现在玩的比较多的话，应该还是 TOP 的熊熊吧，他看起来像是个老酒桶 King， 欧尼选择。你觉得酒桶玩的好与坏的话，最大的关键点在哪？在于自信吧。其实当时很多辅助，当时不是会有那些压闪的那种操作嘛。然后如果你自信的话，你可以在空中就在1的空中就把 R 给丢出来，然后闪现撞到别人身上，然后造成那种几何桶的玩法。所以玩酒桶，你最高要自信。
好，小鹏，我们现在要来玩一个联想的小游戏，就是你看到题目之后，你要在5秒钟之内想出3个联想词，然后如果想不出来的话就有惩罚。准备好了吗？
准备好了。
OK， 好，第一个，
最佳新人 Night369小天。
OK， 好，可以。第二个，
软萌上风狂魔比赛强者。
软萌是什么东西啊？
就是软萌啊。
软萌哦，看起来软萌萌的这样子。比赛强者，好行。第3个，
团结心态良好，一群憨憨。
那我想问一下，就是关于季后赛的一些心得，这样，因为我们英文有很多的观众会开始关注你们的战队，也是因为你们3-0击败了 EDG， 算是一个非常大爆冷门的一个情况。那你可以跟我们描述一下，你们当时对上 EDG 的时候，赛前的准备大概是往哪些方向？
因为当时之前我们打春季赛常规赛的时候，我们是输给了 EDG 嘛。当时我们在季后赛说第一场能遇见 EDG， 那我们要用尽全部的力量，想着任何的办法，我们就为了打他们去调整我们的战术和规划之类的东西。
那可以讲一下细节吗？你们当时分析的话，你们要取胜 EDG， 主要你们比他们厉害的一些地方大概在哪？
因为当时我觉得1届2位打野当时的状态都不是特别的好嘛，然后我想的就是如果我们团队能在野区找到更多的优势的话，可能会更好赢一点。然后当时我的队友也是这样觉得，他觉得我的操作还算挺不错的，把一些资源和前期的一些帮助全部堆在我的身上，相信我的前期开尾能力，然后导致我们后面能比较轻松的赢EDG吧。
那确实感觉你是非常大的一个工程哦。那我想问一下，在打野碰撞这边你的一些观感，因为我们知道，其实，在夏季赛的版本里面，就是河蟹出生的时间是足足晚了，就是1分钟，变到3分15秒才开始发生。那你觉得这个对就是打野区强行碰撞会有什么影响吗？
在最开始的时候，其实我们那些打进攻的队伍在夏季赛的成绩都不是特别好的原因，就是因为野区这些改动。因为平常以前在2分钟的时候出的河道蟹，大家都会想着去争夺那个河道蟹。假如说只要我的野区和我的队友是有陷阱的情况下，我们就会利用这个点去对他们的野区造成进攻，让你们强行跟我打架，要不你就亏损你的野区跟我，让我吃的经济更多，要不你就强行跟我打架，然后你会跟我打输，我们拼操作。就差不多这样。现在改了之后，就可能没有那种前期的进攻打法了，我们就需要更稳定一点。然后那些比较偏运营的队伍，可能就稍微会活得舒服一点那种感觉。
那刚刚小鹏你其实有说到，就是现在可能是比较偏就是营运流的打野会吃香一点。那你可以跟我们大概讲一下现在的版本里面，你觉得哪一些打野会是比较强势的吗？
我觉得像奥拉夫、猪妹这种英雄会比较强势，因为奥拉夫这种英雄是设计一团比较厉害的英雄，他如果配合自己的队友前期很厉害的话，可以让对面的野区亏损一组野区吧。然后像猪妹这种英雄的话是比较偏向于团队打的控制比较多，然后如果是近战比较多的阵容的话，就猪妹的话，让对面的就会特别的难受，很害怕你们队伍里控制特别多。
那我想问一下，居然你之前都讲你们的队伍风格主要就是靠这个线权啊，然后打野碰撞来取得优势的话，那你自己是怎么调试这个新的版本？
其实这段时间我们之前我觉得输的比较多的原因，可能是因为当时我们对这个版本的线权觉得没有那么重要了，因为我们当时想的是如果能调整一下，让我们都打到后期，因为我们选的阵容都比较发育阵容嘛，像沙皇啊、轮子妈这种英雄的话，让我们前期失去了很多，也需要对抗性之类的，所以导致我们可能是成绩不好的原因在这里。
接下来我想问一下，就是在 LPL 里面，你最仰慕哪一名打野，然后最期待跟哪一名打野对战？
其实我觉得跟卡萨的话，我觉得会比较很有意思，因为他比较都是说大家是意识流会平行打野嘛，因为他的意识特别的好，然后做的自己的操作也做得特别的好，所以跟他对战的话应该会很有意思。
你觉得有从卡萨身上学到什么东西吗？就是你有看到哪一些点是你觉得非常实用，可以跟大家分享？
因为卡萨这个人意识会特别的好，他会提前做一些预判型的反蹲，他会在任何没有视野的情况下，知道你的打野在下一步行动嘛。如果我能做到这个的话，我觉得应该会特别的好。
我接下来想问一下，除了 LPL 之外的，就是其他赛区的打野，你有哪一名是你觉得特别常有切磋或特别喜欢跟他学习的吗？
其实我觉得是格里芬的打野选手他展吧，因为我觉得他的操作也是顶尖的，然后意识也是顶尖的。
你之前其实我们稍微聊的时候有讲到说，你看到 Tarzan 他每次回家都有2-3千块的这个经济，然后主要是因为他的一个路径选择这样。你可以跟我们分享一下有什么样的路径选择在现在的版本打野，你觉得是非常非常实用的吗？
因为我看过Tarzan，他一般的选择是在于，假如说他现在的下路是在被推线，然后他的血线对面的双方血线都不是特别低的情况下，然后他会从上往下一直刷到他们的下路去，然后帮忙做一波gank，然后会去反对面的野怪，然后继续轮流来做事情，然后会发现他身上回家的钱会特别的多，有些时候甚至可以直接出一件大件出来。
我们之前在 Face to Face 的前几集访问奈的时候，我们有问过他最常单排的人是谁，那他的答案其实是给的是你这样子。那你可以讲一下你跟奈的一个关系吗？
之前我认识奈特的时候，他当时我们还不是特别熟，但是我们是在排位里遇到的。当时他觉得我的操作还挺好的，我觉得他的操作也很好。当时我们玩游戏的时候就一起开始尝试着慢慢的双排了之后，我发现这个人的想法和一般人不一样。 他每次都觉得他的英雄不够，然后他会玩一些奇奇怪怪的英雄去他的中路。当时没有任何的什么之类的芥末啊、奎因这种英雄还没改版的情况下，他直接就拿着他去走中路。我说你玩这个英雄去中路干嘛？他说这个东西比赛上没人用啊。他说都是 rank 中人先用出来，然后别人才会拿着它去比赛上好不好用。这种英雄肯定是用来开发的，让人觉得这个人好有天赋的样子。然后我们之前其实认识他一段时间了之后，发现他水平还挺高的。当时我在开始已经步入职业道路上了已经，但他没有在，他还是在打单排 rank 的情况下，我当时就每天晚上有一段时间，大概每天晚上跟他聊他3、4个小时，然后跟他说，你既然这么有天赋，你为何不去打职业去试一下呢？他当时就是那种年纪比较小、比较害羞嘛，因为从来没有出过门，他当时是他没有出过远门的情况下，当时我就每天劝说他3、4个小时，然后大概说了将近1个星期吧，然后过了一段时间之后，我就突然发现他好像去职业当中去试训了那样子，然后之后他才加入了 YM， 然后开始慢慢的我们就稍微就变得更熟一点嘛，因为更多的话题在一起双排也好，我们就越来越熟了吧。
那我想问一下，就 DMO 这个战队的话，因为你们也是刚改名嘛，有点一个新气象这样子。那你们这一季的目标大概会想要达到什么样的成绩？
我觉得虽然我们输成这个样子，但是我们觉得我们自己的目标还是想着是能进季后赛吧，因为我们觉得不能放弃嘛，因为大家都是 LPL 队，我觉得就算我们前面发挥的不好，相信我们之后如果能调整好的话，我们还是能进季后赛的。
Thank you all for watching. This has been an episode of Face to Face with DMO Xiaopeng. Wish you the best of luck this split, and see you guys next time.
Bye bye.
Mini.
来，
给我。
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We apologize for the delay. There was an issue on stage, which now seems to be resolved. Raz is back, and my name is Hysterics, and we will be jumping to Game 1 very shortly of EDG taking on V5. Welcome back, Raz.
All right, so, I mean, at the end of the day, there's a lot of frustration out there, so thank you guys for sticking by us. Because at the end of the day, we didn't get that champion select, man. We just want to see what these teams want.
Yeah, no, we're having a big talk before about V5 and the versatility amongst the players. We even saw a Zed the other day, which is why heading into this one, I think we've waited long enough. We need to see what comes out in game number 1.
We'll see. These camera shots are very, questionable. They literally don't tell anything except for who's on stage. So we'll still see what's going on. There's a lot of vagueness, so we don't actually know what's happening on stage at the moment. But at the end of the day, hopefully it doesn't cool the players down. We have these discussions every time it comes to new players on stage during long pauses, explainable or not, whether it just kind of calms them down and so, you forget the overall game plan. This is before champion select, so we're just about to get into it.
There we go.
Thank the Lord we're in.
A big thank you to you guys as well, once again. But let's get into it. The wait is over and V5 running into EDG. V5 have taken down IG, Rogue Warriors. I want to see if they have what it takes to take down EDG as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, I have been a naysayer for too long. I have faith that they'll be able to give us a good fight, so we're already inside of it. Let's see what the picks here are for Victory 5.
Yep, V5 blue, EDG red, and straight away all the way to Jeje. That's an Olaf and a Xin Zhao ban in the first phase.
Yeah, we need to start really targeting Jeje's early portions of the game. That's been what's really been keeping EDG up. Jeje and Scout earlier on, and also Mako's been roaming alongside him quite a bit. So the fact that he's able to not have Olaf any longer, I think is going to be a great benefit to Ben for.
Take away the other part of the combo. That's the Yuumi gone on blue side. And for EDG, yep.
Lux and Tahm Kench are still available. So
that's true.
I think EDG don't want to ban either. They don't want to just give away the objectively better support if they end up banning either Tahm Kench or the Lux. So I love these bans coming in from Victory 5.
Finally,
oh, well, okay. They're just going to give it to them.
Well, Tahm Kench there. Let's see if it gets locked in.
Yeah, good challenge overall. Let's see if they're just going to pick it up. Mako still has a good Fiddlesticks and Nautilus. I'm expecting like Nautilus, Kalista. We've been talking about before the entire break happened, the potential picks for Kalista, Nautilus, or Kalista Volibear, something
Yeah.
you want to see.
Yeah.
But lock this in, because the amount of Karthuses we've been getting since Rift Rivals is a good reason with how Canyon was able to perform. So, you know, able to have such a quick clear in the jungle. Teams are starting to really enjoy it. And it's just, good, you know, pretty damn good early game. It's not a skirmishing jungler, but the clear speed and damage that it's able to get if there is lockdown on your team is next to none.
This has been the red side pick here, and JDG showed us yesterday in Game 3 what it was all about. Floors wreaked havoc across BLG in that final game. So seeing it here in Game 1 from Jer, and now the other go-to has been that support, been that priority AD carry. If EDG go down that road, looks like the Sivir there for iBoy.
Great wave clear. I mean, we've had that discussion about whether it's going to be a Kalista or not, but Sivir really allows your mid lane to go to a far more aggressive pick. I'm talking about, you know, Irelia is up and available and something you might want to pick up. LeBlanc, just an assassin. Now something that can enable Scout, since he doesn't have to think about, you know, needing to pick up an Azir to have that wave clear in the lane.
Remember, champions like Kiana still available.
Wow.
That's a surprise. There is only one Nidalee player in the LPL, and that's Xiaopeng from DMO. So Ben 4, welcome to the league.
And this is when I, you know, give my respects to MLXG. Of course, he retired, but when he came into the league, he was the Nidalee player, and now we're handing it off to, you know, some of the new guys coming in here. I know Ben 4 already trying to make a name for himself with this Nidalee, but to your point, yes, Xiaopeng, who, you know, was the face-to-face interviewee. Clement had that discussion with him.
Yep.
I just want to see more Nidalee picks. This is a pre-buff. This is not 9.14, but I'd love to see more of the options. And this is an added poke with Jace as well.
Yeah, that's an aggressive comp laid out for V5. And what EDG go to matches the Irelia, so this is some solo lane strength.
Yep, we talked about it. It could still be top lane for Jinnu, but I would expect it going to Scout with how well he's been playing these lanes out. And he already has the wave clear of the Sivir, so I'm not too concerned about him needing to sort that one out himself.
He's picked this up many times before as well, but I pointed out things like the Kiana still available if that isn't Irelia to the top side, but Mordekaiser was left open, now banned away.
And for the NA viewers, Mordekaiser is available in the LPL. Of
course.
I heard that there are FPS issues for the players in North America, which is why there were complaints there and launched and taken away on that one, but not banned here, not banned in LEC or the LCK, so you get to see some Mordekaiser action in this league, not in this game.
Not in this game, but it will be a priority throughout this series, I can assure you. So let's see what comes up next. That, of course, is the Renekton banned away from the team that has no mid or top secured. They flex between both lanes.
I just want to see if Windy and Mole, no matter who goes up top lane, can perform, because when they went up against Holder and Rogue Warriors, he actually fully dominated that series. There was the third game was when it felt more even, but oftentimes he showed the inexperience of Mole and Windy and how they were playing when they were thrown up in the long lane.
Yeah. Coming into the second phase and the end of it for V5. Gangplank banned away from Jinnu. And still waiting for that support, still waiting for one of the solo lanes of EDG. What do they leave as that last counter pick?
One thing I want to point out is one champion that does incredibly well in this specific instance is the Riven. Riven going up against Nidalee, Jace. The Tahm Kench is going to be what I would imagine the only tank that holds Victory 5 down. I think it's a wonderful pick, which is why they're kind of holding it for the 5th pick here.
Oh, okay, support locked in. And as you were talking, or rather, as you mentioned Riven, I thought, yeah, that's Jinnu's style through and through. One of the OG Rivens in the LPL. So it would make perfect sense coming into Game 1.
It would sort out EDG's side lane, so they'd have side lane strength with an Irelia and an extra bruiser. And on top of that, of course, the team fights would just be excellent. They don't have to concern themselves with engage. If the Rakan is there, the Irelia, of course, his ultimate is already all you need. So I think EDG, at this point, you ask Jinnu what he wants in this instance and lock it in, man.
What do I want, though, Raz?
No, it's
What's
already
more
a Tahm
important?
Kench.
Yeah.
It's a Tahm Kench in there.
I mean, we have seen Tahm Kench top, but you're right. It doesn't seem like this is the place to pick it out. Aatrox or Nico, hovering between the two here for V5. And
this is a very old DMO style. This is very old Dominus in which they can shove out both adjacent, top lanes and empower the Nidalee to look for invades. That's what toppled EDG in the playoffs. In the first round, the point that Xiaopeng made was that they recognized that the junglers for EDG was poor, or at least that's what their perception was. And as long as they could attack it, give as many resources towards Xiaopeng, who is playing the Nidalee, then that's how they can unwind a lot of the pressure that EDG would have in the early portions of the game.
Interesting that V5 would opt in for it, but my eyes drifted over to EDG, Raz. I see the Riven instead. Sorry, the Vladimir instead of the Riven.
All right. But one lesson out there is that last split, JJ wasn't playing. This split was the split of JJ, how aggressive he is, how willing he is to take on these early skirmishes. So I definitely want to see how he's able to, push back this pressure that Nidalee is going to be throwing at you, especially with the Nico being able to push through mid. You're right about the Vladimir. Vladimir is going to be interesting, but he should be underneath tower. That's my concern. Victory 5's solo lanes have great shove, great skirmish earlier on. Aurelia, if she can get a gank going with the Karthus gank, then maybe something can come online. You only really need the Aurelia stun to make it happen. But that's my concern. I think EDG is going to have to hold back a little bit for the top side.
Which is why it's impressive for me for V5, because the strength of this team has been the solo lanes through and through. Windy and Mole, the versatility to swap between top and mid and go where their heart desires. Here in this game, they have that option once again. We don't know who's finally going where. We have to wait until we get into game 1.
We just know that the Nico is going to be going mid. That's the only thing that I care about. That's the only thing that Victory 5 honestly care about. They care about the matchups. That's one thing that you can track, right? So when Victory 5 come into the game, it's a great mentality. Get your lanes early, ahead as possible. We saw this when they went up against Rogue Warriors. They valued early laning phase so they can allow for more skirmishing, more fighting. It's going to be on EDG to push that back.
How far can they take it for EDG? JJ on the Karthus. This man has a wide champion pool as well. Karthus has tested our junglers here in the LPL, and I want to see if EDG continues striving forward. This is a big matchup for them. V5 have been on a tear. They've created upsets. Can they take EDG as well?
Both teams have actually started this one out with traps. You saw from EDG's side, they're setting up for a trap if there's a blue side invade. Setting up the Nidalee.
Yep.
But for whatever reason, I mean, Victory 5 are also expecting EDG to come up through bot side. So interesting. At the end of the day, it's both nullified. But it's nice to see early level 1 just being a lot more smarter.
A lot of respect there as well, which is always good to see. On top of that, just taking a look through the keystones here and electrocute Jace, aggressive lane from Windy, but he's going to be taken to the mid lane, and this is why I said for V5, you can never expect them to stay in one place.
Okay, it's interesting. Take a look at, I was about to say Tahm Kench in Italy, but that is actually the Nico. I always get tricked by the mini-map. You're right, Nico's going up top lane, should be having consistent shove no matter who she's going up against. I guess it's easier for the Jace to be able to take this lane just because if there's ever an all-in potential, you can just bat him away.
Fair enough.
Taking a look at the runes here. Nothing surprising.
Guess the range advantage for the Nico in the top lane as well against the Vladimir is always going to come into effect, and should be able to deal with that level 6 a little easier.
One thing that's usually the strength of the Nidalee is through her clear speed.
Okay.
Going from Raptors, red to Krugs, going for a base, going topside, clearing, and then looking for invades. But that's been the strength of the Karthus as well. Movement speed has been the go-to for the Nidalee in Cougar stand, so I think that's what's going to get her ahead. So overall, I'm thinking more along the lines of 4 minutes, 30 seconds in which she's going to be looking for Raptors, going to be challenging Karthus a little bit more heavily, and so mid lane is going to be incredibly important. Great trades by Windy, and if he keeps consistent, like pushing Scout underneath tower, then this is a great early game that we're going to be seeing from V5.
All it takes a spear from Ben 4 that'll secure the kill if trades like this continue on. So for Windy in a very good position early, lane shoved up, meaning Ben 4 could cross over to his blue buff, pick that up and set up for the Scuttle Crab in the top side.
And one thing too, you're talking about top side. We've seen so many Jace versus Vladimir matchups with Vladimir underneath tower, about 20% HP, and usually at the whims of their junglers coming in to defend them if the wave's crashing in. This is a harder situation. The poke is actually pretty damn good from Nico overall, the shove underneath turret, the glacial augment to be able to slow you down and safely land her abilities. So underneath turret, I'm a little bit, I mean, I'm a lot more afraid for Vladimir, just hoping he doesn't get solo killed within the lane. So those are my concerns, and Ben4 certainly can find a place up topside, but here's an all-in.
That's an all-in into Windy. Ignites down Scout. Easily done. Takes the Conqueror proc, or rather press the attack and says, see you later.
Just like that, huh? Just like that, Scout really just stomps him down.
The difference of press the attack, noticed just as the kill came through. First blood over to the Aurelia, and this is how the lane turns back around.
We missed out on the context. This was the context, essentially. He was trying to walk in, and if he had dodged that one out, sure, of course he would have been fine in the lane. But that's always that's the part of the skill matchup you have to focus in on. If you can get the stun in crucial points, that's an easy all-in. Didn't use his flash, though, so at least he's going to be coming back into the lane with that, but the wave is pretty decently in EDG's favor in mid lane.
JJ's nearby as well. Actually going to be spotted out by the junglers. Wi-Fi actually goes forward onto Iboy. Great target selection from the bottom lane of V5 as they then turn to Mako. Traded back a little bit by Iboy, but still the aggression here from the bottom lane.
This is good stuff. We're talking about the confidence from Victory 5, and this is what it's leading them into.
Speaking of confidence, Javelin Toss. Ooh. It will stop the back, though, which is important.
But Jinnu should have all his cooldowns up. He should be able to defend this one decently easy. It's hard for Nidalee to go for the full dive. Let's see if they can get the execution off.
You're waiting for the Sanguine pull, but that's a great Tangle Barbs. Then underneath turret, Ben4 hasn't hit him just yet, so aggro not there. The flash away, they heal. Ben4 flashes himself, and in the end, it works out.
Only costed the Nidalee flash, and you look towards Max.
Yep, 1, 2. Just a follow away, so Max going to survive.
But what really well played. I mean, you saw with, oh no, please Scout, no.
Remember, it's press the attack, quick burst trades there. He's activated, and Windy once again losing out as JJ too far into the enemy jungle, almost pays for it against the Ezreal.
I feel bad for the observers. How do you keep track when all three lanes are incredibly active at the same time?
Yep.
When they know the junglers are in position, you already know Karthus is in the bottom side of the map, then you're like, all right, perfect. I can look for a skirmish mid-slide. I mean, Windy is not happy with how his lane's been forming up, but at least it's shoving into him. He can be patient right now, but starting off in a bad foot.
Remember, the fact is Ben4 can always change some of these lanes. The benefit of the Nidalee versus Karthus, the ganking style jungler, is what V5 have opted in for, and that means the outplay potential more so there for V5 in the early game.
This is when it's incredibly important to take just a stock of CS margins. With so much happening at the same time, it's actually pretty damn good for Victory 5.
Yeah.
Their side lanes have been working out very well. I mean, Nico has a pretty good CS advantage. The bottom side has been, marginally ahead. It's been doing quite well for themselves. The only concern is that solo kill that Scout was able to get, the control of the wave that he has, that could mean a lot. Really, if you're JJ, get control of the vision around mid lane and get Scout roaming.
Let's see how he's able to pick up the CS lead in the mid lane from that solo kill. I still haven't seen the response as he's backed away. Only picked up the longsword there, so it's not like the item advantage is massive against Windy, but still forced out, meaning that the bottom lane under threat here as V5 send their jungler down.
Yeah, there's not much that V5 can do down here, though, unless if you're chipping down turret platings. The Sivir and Rakan are incredibly safe. So right now, if you're Y4 and Max, trying to get this one shoved out as much as possible, get some wards down in the riverside so you know if there's anyone roaming towards you, and start getting some passive gold.
Early level 6 here from Y4 as well, just want to point out. That True Shot Barrage hit Mako pretty hard, who was only 4 at the time, but same level as the solo laners coming across from V5, apart from Mole, who just hit 7.
Ultimately, Ben4 has a lot more to work with.
Yeah.
You're always concerned in the back of your mind what's happening in the mid lane, but through what's been the constant shove up top lane, you can look to an invade and time your enemy Krugs that is. Kind of soft invade for Raptors, but you do once again have to look at what's happening in the mid lane. Or just go in for what is the Infernal Dragon that's up. We have to see that to be the setup here for Victory 5. You see a lot of control in the bot side of the map by Mako. I think that's more preventative with how well Y4 and Max have been doing bot lane.
He's on the move as well, but that control order in the pick going to stay there for now and control that elemental dragon that comes up first. You're looking towards the bottom side. Scuttle's coming there too, and pitting yourself around that dragon. Ben4 now heading towards that bottom side as well. 1-0 at the start. Runic Echoes nice and early. Actually beating the Karthus to it, so JJ, even with Requiem up, doesn't have his first item just yet.
Yeah, and I don't think EDG have to be too concerned with the early lanes coming through or the very slight advantage Victory 5 has. If we're just going through straight scaling, 5v5, what it looks like, I really love EDG's composition. Sivir, Vladimir, Karthus, I mean, just across the board, they look incredibly good off of what damage
fighting, yeah.
Exactly. There's a lot that EDG can apply for when they get control around dragons, but you can already see that's firmly in the grasp of Victory 5 because of this bottom lane.
It's going to show us the form of EDG in this series to quell any bleeding that V5 try to force us. They went in for the blue buff to take away from the Karthus.
Ah, that's what he has in his mouth.
Ooh, yum.
Give that to me.
Seafood time for Ben 4. Hits level 7. Ult doesn't go through the bottom lane of EDG.
Did you know in the new patch, I don't know if it's out in China just yet,
not.
You can gobble up red buff and blue buffs.
Ooh, that's a nice addition, isn't it?
I don't like that, obviously, because I'm a jungler. Oh, but Windy's not going to like this either.
Evil can blind, forced to it, pushed away from, but they wait. They send the Vanguard's edge out, and Scout looking for the 1v2 with Ginger at the side, dodging away from the Javelin, while Scout still winning out in the trade, and Ben 4 quelling any future losses through this mid lane.
He held onto it knowing...
Oh, but he ignites. He's going in anyway. Requiem, bye-bye, Windy. Bye-bye. Scout with another kill.
That was so well done. I want to see a replay right from the get-go.
That was sick.
Because he held onto that stun for a while, knew that the flash would come through. When he flashes, he follows. Feel bad for Jason that one. Sure, he face-checked, but the fact that Scout knew, presence of mind that that would happen, gets the job done.
When I talked about making EDG bleed in the early game, my idea was that Windy on Jace would be the one to lead the charge, but 0-2 and 0. The start for Scout is really hurting V5.
I love the milliseconds worth of debate that happened there, whether he should take the kill or have the Karthus ultimate go for it. I mean, it's nice for the Karthus because Karthus already expended their resources. But he's like, I'm the damn Irelia. Wait a minute. Give me this. I want my Trinity Force as fast as I can get it. So, I mean, a fed Irelia is certainly going to be a problem for the enemy team. We actually saw that with Knight.
Oh, yeah.
Earlier on. He was
great example.
He's just absolutely dominating with that one.
2-0, almost Trinity Force completed here for Scouters. Well, we'll have it in chat there. V5 off of the Rift Herald.
Oh no, JJ.
He might be caught out. The Karthus doesn't have the ult to use. Burns himself away a flash, but sends up the wall of pain. iBoy and Scout on the Hunters. Mako pops the ult as well. Flies across Summoner's Rift onto Windy. iBoy picks it up this time, and Mako came from 2 screens away.
God bless Captain Mako on that one. He literally flew in across the screen, but can Mole get out of this one?
Jinu has the Human Plague down as well as the Crimson Rush. Picks it up. Better trades onto Mole too. Lane's falling apart here for V5 and Rift Herald being the contention.
Yep, it was happening at a great time for EDG. Now there's certainly not going to be any contest there. So at least there's a pretty damn good response in from Ben 4 coming into being able to go for the Infernal Dragon. If he rolls the dice and the next one is either a Mountain or Infernal, I like this more for Victory 5, but I don't think this is going to end here. EDG have topside in firm control.
And mid as well. Turret getting whittled down as plating's
RNG.
given over, but here we go. Double Infernal and now a topside push.
But yeah, the double Infernal is what I'm talking about. Victory 5 now have a chance at double Infernal if they can continue to get this one rolling. Of course, gold's going to be pretty damn good for EDG right now. That was a large gold swing in their favor.
Yep.
But that investment should pay off for Victory 5.
Oh, Mole almost finds Jinu, though, just as a response. But we're sure going to get a charge here. And we continue. So a bit of damage onto the top lane inner. With that trade-off, it was recovered by V5. They picked up bottom lane turrets. So gold still not that far out of their lead.
Yeah, at least if I'm, EDG, you do get quite a bit of gold on towards Sivir. You have yourself a kill as well. Can't forget the fact that Windy ended up dropping to that.
Yep.
So for now, 100% EDG are in the driving position. But they have to keep disciplined, focus on the next dragon that comes up in 3 minutes, and take that away from Victory 5.
And at least during that play, the Ezreal, picked up the gold by himself. So the lane that's now the best for V5 is continuing to accelerate. 20 CS ahead, Manamune stacking, Iceborne Gauntlet almost completed. Like the look of the Ezreal. Also looking across the board. I don't want to look at Jace right now.
But so much can change on Victory 5's end simply because of the comp alone. We talked about EDG's comp and how well it does in team fights, and especially with a really fed Irelia, she can just find herself in side lanes if anything ends up happening. Mole nor Windy will be able to stop them. But the poke that V5 has is something you have to respect.
Yeah.
Especially if Max gets off his Q and ends up getting that slow. Ezreal Q, Jace, and Nidalee, that really piles up. And we've seen a lot of games globally where, games are going perfectly for the enemy team, but all it really takes is side lane shove, a group up mid lane, and you can take down numerous objectives based off one great poke.
Oh, there's some of the poke right now. Onto Scout, gets half health. They flash on in. They get the True Shot Barrage and get the kill. Benfor survives for now, but dies eventually to JJ as EDG look for the backwards engage. Mako in a great position. The Hema play down onto 2 members, and Y4 out on the wrong side of Summoner's Rift. EDG gobble him up, but iBoy takes the 400 gold. And Max,
no.
say goodnight. Oi, almost. Not enough stacks just yet. JJ lets Max go.
That was really interesting. Victory 5 looked good on that one, but you saw the side lanes. Jace had a freeze up top lane, and the same went for the Nico on the bot side of the map. They just didn't have the numbers.
Also, big props to Mako this game. His positioning and his timing has been on point. Another play where he controlled and dictated the pace, and V5 got caught out in the corner.
Yeah, when you go up against some of the best teams, you do have to think about the exit strategy.
Yep.
You got the first pick. Can you go further? Do you have to get the hell out of there? At the end of the day, you had to have that calm with your Jason, Nico. Look at the mini-map. Nowhere clued in the pick. Even the teleport from the Vladimir. So Victory 5 may have been able to get the first kill, but at this point, they were not conditioned or not in the right position to get out of here.
Good block as well. Just surprised that Max survived at the end of this as well. Let's have a look at the shield, or no, we don't get to.
I definitely don't want to see that again. It's just going to be too sad.
Yep. Jinu, careful in the mid lane. This is not where you want to be, but Arcane Shift forward, Y4, playing it dangerous. True Shot Barrage went to the left.
Question mark for a reason.
Yep.
That was a bad True Shot Barrage.
Call it what it is.
Yep.
So Jinu gets away with his life. That's a 1-for-1. If you're looking at Max versus Jinu. 2 survives. And now we soldier on. EDG with a 1k gold lead still. Looks like mid lane is the focus. We're doing a bit of ARAM.
Yeah, these are my favorite games. When I wake up in the morning, I watch myself some great North American games. This is what you love to see.
Yeah.
Group up mid and see what you can get. At least this composition, built for it. If you look at Victory 5, the fact that they're in a gold deficit, but they have these side lanes in a decent place, I mean, they can do this, and it's going to be on EDG that tries to stop it from happening.
It's at this point in the game that Vladimir can't one-shot the waves, that he has to spend a bit of time with it. So the push is slow, it's calculated, and it's readable. As Infernal coming up in 30 while Jinu backs to reset.
All right, let's go. Last time I saw Victory 5 play, I was incredibly tilted because they had killed an enemy member when they were going up against Rogue Warriors. This was game 1. They had firm control. They should have been able to go and get the Infernal Dragon, but then they tried to control topside.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that, but it seems like they got much better here because they got mid lane shoved out. The controls around the bottom side. They should be able to get this in second Infernal.
Teams continue to get better. That's why it's so exciting to watch V5 at the moment. Is pushing through the mid lane, trying to get some damage down. They've got some great poke here. Even if the mate go in the end, they're in a good position to find this.
Let's see if we can get any more.
Slowed down as Mako and Scout look. True Shot Barrage once again onto Scout. Negates some of the damage, but that's the poke to get the mid laner away and help you secure that dragon even more so.
See, I love this now. They can send some members to take this one down. Oh, even better.
Oh, the ult was even popped there. Mako almost dies in the process. Jinu walking forward. Greenman hanging play with the Vanguard's Edge, the Requiem coming down. And EDG launch everything at them while Benfor looks for the re-engage. Mako gets the knockup, but the jungler still gets the kill. A messy fight, but EDG threw everything in the kitchen sink at V5.
That was beautiful from EDG. The flank coming in through from the Aurelia, and then the 3-man Hemo Plague from Jinu. Since joining this team, Jinu has been so on point with how he starts these fights, and it is no different here.
Can't believe after all that, EDG going to get the Infernal Dragon. They deny the double, and they take one themselves. Net win once again for EDG. 2k gold lead now, and that mid lane turret will fall with it.
I just want to see that one more time. That was a great tag team play from Scout and Jinu. Because if you see the Aurelia on your screen, takes the long way around. I actually think it gets caught by that one ward, but it doesn't matter. They see that great poke. They want to go a little bit larger in it. That was a great Aurelia ultimate. Tag team with a great Hemo Plague. And then to finish it off, nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't get better than that.
You thought that fight was over. As soon as Mako popped the ulti, locked in place and almost died. The ability for EDG to find these fights. They've been a great team fighting team in summer.
But like in the history of League of Legends, these are the compositions you love to see. Heavy poke and siege versus just heavy hard engage.
Yeah.
that wants to find those key windows. This was it.
Got a Pop Blossom there from Mole. Mako forcing it out of him.
Yeah, Mako got out and thinking he can get more. But the Infernal Dragon now went to EDG. That whole investment that we were talking about for Victory 5 is now just a raw loss.
Yeah.
They lost it. The Rift Herald was now essentially untraded because the next dragon is going to be a Cloud. Victory 5 now just has that soul. Oh no, wait a second.
Looking for another solo killer. Scout ignites down underneath the turret. The Starburst comes through once again, but Scout jumps back in. He's willing to die.
You're dead anyways, son.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, he jumps out. Never mind, Raz. What were you saying? Yeah, what were you saying?
I love this game, man.
I love Scout at the moment. He's playing some great League, and Mako's coming in to show us what he's doing. Ben 4 locked up, charmed away. Spear blocked by the support as well, and Ben 4 will take another shot. And EDG now walking over the competition.
Like, Victory 5 are a few steps behind.
Yes.
EDG are constantly roaming through that jungle, finding those key picks, and it started once again with that solo kill from Scout.
Coming close as Requiem going to come down. Now going to force the issue once again. Jinu looking for the chase, but that's a TP from iBoy. And through mid. Again, V5 are denied.
Just standardizing them, keeping them honest.
Yeah.
Karthus ultimate just to wave them off.
Because I look at this game and I don't say that V5 are playing bad by any means. I say EDG are outpacing them, outplaying them, and like you said, they're 2 steps ahead of them.
We saw this when they went up against LNG. This is the favorite type of EDG that I've seen. EDG that is constantly active and engaged in the comp, are moving with purpose. A lot of the times when you see EDG and, plays that make you type lol in the chat is when you don't see the jungler tuned in with the solo lanes. You see iBoy off in a random 1v1 and dying.
Yeah.
You see, Jinu trying to find that hero play. And there's no other members really clued into that as well, but it seems like the communication has been great for EDG. They've been playing real disciplined League of Legends.
And you're at a point where, for EDG, you can't go wrong. 20 minutes in the game, 2 items for the AD carry. That's an IE, an Essence Reaver, the Aurelia almost towards the second item, and the Karthus has the Morellonomicon now. So we're going to start seeing it stack up. 10 stacks included on the Darksteel too. Remember, Karthus have been building Magi's. Now, I don't care if anyone likes it or not. I love it.
I mean, yeah, it's great. You're already stacking off your Dark Harvest. On top of that, you're never in really any harm, in danger.
Yep.
And if you're already playing this well right now, your ultimate is just to get kills. Honestly, you already see the Vladimir, the Aurelia all in, the Sivir Ricochet, all of that with the Karthus ultimate just as the fight ender.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good value. Especially now that you've got the full 10 stacks on top of the Dark Harvest, you should just exchange it for the Magi's.
Expect to see that next back, but no 1v1 is ever safe as Mako makes the fight happen once again. The Wall of Pain out as Trisha Barrage is available. EDG back cooking away, almost finding the jungler again.
This is the tough game Victory 5 have to play out because at this point, EDG are trying to get everything on the map.
Yeah.
They recognize that Cloud Dragon's coming up. They want to get it and roll the dice for the next dragon. They're going to be trying to stack the dragon while still having heavy vision control towards Baron. Victory 5 don't have much of an idea of when their windows are. Because if they see, one person taking dragon, they don't think that it's a good enough time to try and rush into the Baron area and start clearing out wards.
True.
This is when you do have to take risks if you're Victory 5.
Yeah. Especially since EDG getting their second item before them. The person who really ahead at the moment is Y4, but even then, iBoy's catching up. Caught in the mid lane, V5.
Okay, who are we going for?
Pop the quickness again, but Scout. Windy just walks into a 2-man knock-up. Vanguard's edge. You can believe that fight's over right now as Mole tries to get the disengage off, but that was immediate kills from EDG.
That was his patience. He knew the flash was going to be coming out. The Jace didn't flash. He was going to die anyways, and he has 2 people for his trouble. Great work from Mako. You know what that turns into?
The Baron straight away. Jinu on zoning patrol. Mole is the one front leading in as Crimson Rush going to heal up Jinu, and EDG at half health continuing off.
Bellerin is incredibly healthy. I don't know if Ben 4 even has an opportunity to get in.
Well, but Max is walking into Jinu. Look down towards the bottom. Eaten up. Max going to heal a little bit. Mako here to support him while EDG get the rest of the Baron. Mole coming in with the pop loss, but everyone walks away. Now, Lamb to the slaughter is Mole as he gets healed up. Y4 comes in. The True Shot Barrage will chunk them. but still no kills yet.
Puts a lot of damage down, but they do have towers up top. Both towers are up and available, so they can hide underneath them.
And what did I say about Y4? The carrying force right now for V5.
Wait a minute!
If he can get the poke off, but Jinu's already found Mole on the side. Surprise, surprise. Maybe it's over.
He had Crimson Rush. Hell of a lot of damage coming out of the Vladimir at this stage.
Surprise. Comes across. EDG in the back of the play, pick up Baron. At the end of the day for V5, now having to reset and hold off this push. It's going to be scary.
One of those games where everything just goes wrong, right? Early portion of the game was looking fine, and then the one, domino falls. It was the Aurelia kill up mid, and then it was the Aurelia kill up bottom. People roamed in to get the Nidalee afterwards. It seems like a snowball off of what was just one small interaction, and now EDG has taken everything.
Including the Dragon, reset for the double Infernal potential there. So we're getting all three fires this game. But to put out a fire here, V5, you come into this game with open eyes, but after game one, EDG styling them, and people like Mole can't be here. Caught out once again. Pop Blossom will come back down, but knocked up into the stasis. EDG get another kill on the board.
Another Crimson Rush setup. I mean, he has the CDR now. This Vladimir can start pumping out damage in team fights.
Spellbinder Vladimir, he's going full aggression as Y4 goes too far forward, eaten up by Max. Vanguard's edge is out, but they spit him out, he dies from the Ignite. Max had no choice. The AD carry goes down, and V5 are just losing members on the board.
Here's this wave. Honestly, Victory 5 should just leave the turret on this one. They should draw the line at the inhibitor when hopefully Mole comes back.
15 seconds, I don't think he's going to be here for this one.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Jinu working his magic on the bottom side too, so maybe it's towards the Nexus turrets where V5 have to make a decision.
They're just moving quickly on this one. There should be a double inhib, you would imagine. But now the Nico is up and available.
Jinu with a Hema Plague onto 2, jumps on in, looking for the Requiem onto 4 people as Windy almost dies, just staring at EDG.
This is why you hate Karthus. This is legitimately why. He's not the reason why they got the lead, but he's certainly the reason why Victory 5 are being put down.
What's the counterplay? This is why we've picked it up, Raz. So you're so right, once again. And I look at this from JJ and I say, what a performance you've had. But my question is, where the hell's the Magi's? But we'll have a look at this again.
Yeah, just take a look here, because it seems quite simple. An all-in, the ultimate 2 just to catch him on the back end. If the Ignite didn't kill him, Aurelia certainly would have dove straight through. Or, JJ ultimate would have just done the finishing touch. But that's where now Victory 5 are in such a bad position. Any fight they do pick up, they're outmatched just by raw numbers alone. The whole outscaling situation we talked about with EDG, I mean, they just have more gold. That's just how it is.
Came into fruition, it feels like 6 minutes ago, where we found that big fight again. 2 items across the board. I'm just dotting the I's, crossing the T's here with the builds from EDG. And the Vladimir, that's going to be a Void Staff, maybe a Rabadons. At this point, Jinu is unstoppable. JJ and Nightboy sitting in the top lane. They're unstoppable as well. They're looking to push another inhibitor turret in.
While keeping Vladimir bot lane. It's spreading out the map. Mole has to deal with him. They don't want this inhibitor in the bot side going down, and so now Victory 5 are spread out, and the person they need to start this fight cannot. His job is just to hold the member down in the bot side of the map.
Yeah. He's going to have to hold 2 versus 2, Windy and Mole, but they cannot take this 2v2. EDG, they're bringing the rest of the cavalry with them. Hoping Ben4 needs to get one of these picks off. Misses on to iBoy, that was one of the conditions. Clearing the wave here for V5 is another. EDG, JJ is coming in with ult almost up and available.
They can do this for however long they want. The super minion in the mid lane right now is going to start crashing through, so the onus is on Victory 5, honestly. They need to do something at this point.
So difficult to deal with EDG. That ult, JJ has it up and available just about now too.
There you go, one more wave of super minions in the mid lane, and then suddenly Victory 5 are strapped.
Long time coming, finally seeing that ult come out. The Requiem down and half health your members. Redemption there for good measure, but that'll secure the inhibitor.
That's the problem. Literally, they don't have to fight anymore. They just have to press Requiem, and then Victory 5 are not in position to.
Yeah.
At least now they're closer to their base so they can heal up and then come back into the fight. But that's the position we're currently in. Look at the government has set out hit jobs on all four. Well,
all four.
Oh, just 4 members. You know,
Yeah.
Mako's fine. He's completely all right.
He's all right.
But the bounties that they have now.
It's a fair chunk. I mean, well deserved. Each and every lane comes out unscathed, and this is the result. Baron's coming up in 35 seconds. You're waiting for that final push to come through with double inhibitor down, with times actually scattered for middle inhibitor and bottom inhibitor. So it'll work out nicely here for EDG, and V5, it's the Hail Mary Baron that Ben4 has to find himself in.
All right, I mean, we've seen this in the past. Live or die by Baron. In fact, I mean, MLXG and Condi's, their names were made off Baron steals.
Yep.
They were able to get so many. This one seems too impossible at this stage. Look at the fact that Mako still has his ultimate up to stop the Baron from even being like thought about stolen. You know,
Yep.
a flash would have to be used to get past the taunt or whatever that, you know, Rakan is going to be throwing, the charm that is.
I've been saving their summoners for this moment because EDG haven't had to use them in the past 9 minutes.
I didn't even know there's an Infernal up.
Yep. Double Infernal. V5 go Baron now.
I mean, they're not. They're really just checking on it. They have no idea where EDG is on the map.
Because to be fair, they'll just do this. They'll look to end the game as Y4 has to flash away. That's a Vanguard's edge exposed, but Ezreal's out.
They're repositioning now. So this is the power of vision, though, right? You'd think they would come up completely confident that they can take the Baron buff. But the only clue that they had was Dragon being taken was the fact that it was done. The roar on the map, the fact that it was showcased to everyone. But by that time, if you start Baron, you get collapsed on by EDG.
Now pushing towards the river. Dangerous moment here for V5 as EDG have exposed the vision, got rid of it again.
But once again, look at the minimap. Ezreal has to tend to the super minion waves up bot side. This is turning into an engage.
Yeah, EDG there first. Y4 has left the wave to come on down, but Scout misses the flash. We'll ignore that for now because Junior comes in to clean it up, and EDG still find the pick while Scout in a good flanking position in their base. They won't be able to back away as Mole looks for the lockdown, but he has GA, remember. Xerix Gage gets popped, and EDG just going to keep running it in.
How many mistakes did he make, but it didn't matter because Xerix Gage. And he's fed.
And the GA is still there, so Scout can go at it again.
Feels bad. Feels bloody bad.
Yep. That far ahead. That's what will happen in V5. Just trying to defend their last inhibitor turret. This has been a long-winded defeat, it feels. As Ben4 looking for the Hail Mary play, but JJ, great timing to go golden. He'll walk away. He has Requiem up, so that's coming very shortly.
The greatest strategy of war is to demoralize your enemy. And what's more demoralizing than not finishing the damn game?
Yep.
Baron, everybody. We need Baron immediately.
We need Baron.
We are in desperate need of the Baron buff. But after we get a good T-break back at base.
Yep.
We'll take all of these buffs first. Blue buff, necessary.
Just get them at your eyes.
We need to clear up the blue base, everybody.
Game's pretty much done.
We'll wait for the rest of the members.
Get the Magi.
Raptor camp, necessary.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't worry about it.
So upset.
What other camps is needed?
Huh? There's a Krug camp up there.
Guys, they think we're doing Baron. It's okay. We can continue to do what we're doing.
We'll do Krugs now.
Yes.
Oh, Scout's on blue. Doesn't have TP. He'll just walk his way up. He could go for the sneaky end. And Baron's still not being done.
Don't worry about it.
Or camp.
Pitch up a tent in the blue side jungle.
Jinu's going to Gromp.
Wait for the next camps to spawn.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Start it? Yeah, Jinu. Okay. JJ has begun. And now we're finally here.
So the Hail Mary we're looking at is an Ezreal ulti to steal it. We already saw Ezreal ultimate go off, but it's available now. This is what dreams are made of.
Mole's going to get vision of it, of course, but behind the pit, Ben4!
Tahm Kenchi!
Oh my god, no! He can't get it. Ben4 gobbled back up, and Max spits him out. It's not in disgust, it's in pride, honor. He'll walk away, Mako looking a 1v1. Support, that support. Leave it, boy, he's mine. He comes in, Mako still gets a kill. I'll call that worth. End of the day, EDG Baron in the game. Now could be theirs. Demon play coming down, Windy getting jumped on. Here's the Requiem. It's over, Red Rovers. The Vanguard's edge doesn't need to land. Ignites down. Mole is dead too, and EDG clean them out to look to end the game.
Vladimir, everybody. Vladimir. This was long over before. The fact that that Baron was almost stolen too, after so much preparation, is hilarious. But boy, was this a stomping if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, EDG made it look too easy, and seems to be the difference at the moment. Call an upset for what it is against IG, against Rogue Warriors, but then they come up against EDG, and V5 looked outmatched.
EDG looked great. I mean, go more focused, Scout looked amazing.
Yep.
We came into this game putting a spotlight on Scout, and he really performed. Got that solo kill really early on. Found himself on side lane, did the same dang thing. Karthus really was the insurance policy. Last time around when he went for the second kill, could have left it for the Karthus. The ultimate was channeled, but he's like, give me the second kill. I mean, I can definitely carry the game with the amount of gold that I have. Was able to get the job done. So great job for EDG, and you almost guaranteed an MVP here for Scout.
Yeah, absolutely. A great early game. Curious to say that Jinu, okay, did the most damage. That man was on a tear as well. Seems to be my most exciting phrase recently because that's what EDG are. They're on a tear. They're running through teams like this and looking damn strong.
Yeah, I mean, you want to see this consistently. Every time you get your hopes up, something happens and, you know, calamity on the field.
Yeah.
But right now, you feel like there's reason behind this. Last week, I would say, last few weeks in Spring Split, you saw an EDG that looked like they were second best in the league.
True.
I mean, that game that we saw versus them in Invictus Gaming really led you to believe that to be the case. They go into the playoffs and a huge upset comes up, and you start to really look back at the roster and you're like, well, what the hell's happening? What needs to change? What were my expectations for EDG, and is that relevant, right? And so after you have your entire check, they go through off-season and everything come back, and they come back once again as strong, even with the changes that they've made.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for this team, and I think that they'll deliver going forward.
Because this is, remember, the bridge towards RNG as well. So if EDG didn't perform in this series, I know we still got another game to go.
We still have more.
But if EDG weren't playing at this level, I would be concerned. I would be very concerned.
I'm still concerned. We've had a lot of games in the past few days in which we had an incredibly clean first game, talking about Invictus Gaming, in both series.
Yeah, that's true. And
then the series goes on. Game 2 is a struggle. They lose, and it goes to a Game 3. So never count your chickens before they hatch. You need to be able to see, EDG end this cleanly. I mean, it looks like they are outmatched, sure.
Yeah.
But you want to be able to see Victory 5 adapt. They adapted well in the last stage when they lost the first game. And you want to be able to see that.
Before.
Exactly.
V5, especially, I should never count them out because V5 are full of surprises. And in Game 2, we're going to find out. Let's go to a break and get to that point.